green flag waved at the back. And so we'll be underway very shortly indeed for final race today. 15 minutes, red lights are on, red lights are out, the race gets underway, and 42 pairs of headlights come towards us, and it's side by side still between the two from the front row, the two 120s. Rob Carvel on the outside line for Redgate, Connor in the number 59 car, and he's going to sweep past Anthony Seddon into the lead of the race. The 116s, which make up the majority of the field, all making their way through. Looks a little bit lighter as we look into this direction.
And then it's raining.
And then it's raining at this part of the circuit.
And so it's actually got a lot of spray in it. It's a lot wetter here than over the Crane curves than it is at the line.
It is. So, I mean, grip will be changing lap by lap, I should think.
Corner by corner.
In this race, yeah, well, absolutely. So they're all making their way down through the old hairpin.
Highcock suddenly lost a load of places because he was leading the 116s at Redgate. There's a touch. The South African David Hudson involved in that. With that Harry Miles in 30, the other. They've got away with it. But yeah, it's Godden, isn't it, to the front of the 116s. Yeah. Highcock had dropped to fourth, but it's diving up the inside of James Waring, I think that was. I think Priestwood perhaps between them. So,
yeah, Priestwood was certainly up there, wasn't he?
So Highcock's not going to have this as easy as the first one was.
No.
Of course, he doesn't want to do anything stupid in this race because that could cost him the championship.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, we always talk about drivers wrapping up championships with a race to spec, but if they do the race and end up with a disqualification, then that can change things. That then has to count as a score in the championship. So it's Anthony Seddon that's got back ahead of Rob Carvel into the lead of the 120s, but not far behind is Jack God, then it's Matt Priestwood, and then it is Waring that's next, then a gap back to Will Abraham, and Matt Highcock's only, what's that, fifth within the 116s at the moment. He's getting alongside Will Abraham now as they head down towards the Melbourne hairpin. Peter Keane is getting alongside Ethan Hall as well. Leaders turning their way through. And in these conditions, the 120 is not very far ahead of the 116s at all, and that's very much what we saw in qualifying as well, Josh.
Yeah, could have 116 win this race overall. You can see they haven't got the power, but they seem to have the grip. I think different tyres the two championships run on. There's Godden there. Look how much quicker he is on the brakes. He has a nibble at the back of Rob Carvel. Matt Highcock's not finished off the podium all year, has he? So if he's going to keep that record, he needs to gain a place. But it's Seddon, Carvel, then Godden, who's had this horrible season up to this weekend. Can he end it with a win? That would be a reward for persevering with that car. Big slide for Waring on the brakes because it's so much wetter, isn't it? From Redgate sort of down to the old hairpin. It's not really that particularly damp around the rest of the track, strangely. But that might change.
It might well change. So over the line they go to start the second lap of this race. And there it's Highcock that's coming towards us here with Ethan Hall. With Will Abraham behind him, I beg your pardon. Then Peter Keane, then it's Ethan Hall. In the number 25 car behind him is the number 12 car of Tom Sibley, similarly liveried car.
I think Ethan Hall's got a different sponsor from earlier in the season.
He
Same
has.
sort of livery, but different backing. And like I say, Tom Sibley replicates that. So Highcock in the wet qualifying was pretty good, wasn't he? Got pole for race one, but wonder if he's just playing it careful. But sometimes you play it too careful, you end up in the pack and then things start to happen.
Yes.
Whereas the earlier race, he was so far ahead, all he needed to do was drive quickly, and that was all good.
So through Coppice Corner for the second time then. It's Anthony Seddon getting away now from Rob Carvel in second place. And Jack Godden, the best of the 116, is in third, number 71. Fourth is the 173 car, Matt Priestwood. And fifth is 228, James Waring. Out of the Fogarty S's they go, and down towards the Melbourne hairpin once again. Jack Godden, it's good to see him going well after, we've said earlier on today, some tribulations with the car being well down on power compared to where it should have been. That's seemingly resolved now.
Abraham was on the inside of Highcock and has gone through, I think. So I'm not sure Matt Highcock's keeping this 100% podium record.
Doesn't look like it's going to be the case, does it? And there off the road is number 9, which is the car which was driven this race by Julian Howe. Shared car with Michael Loveland as well. Over the line they've gone. Seddon leading by 1.5 seconds over Carvel. He's got 1.2 seconds in hand over Jack Godden, who's got about a 2-second lead now in the 116s, but it's close behind because The 16-year-old James Waring is right with the 19-year-old Halifax powder coater Matt Priestwood for second place within the 116 Sprint Trophy.
See the Laser Tools number plates on these cars, and of course it was the Laser Tool Racing BMW that won the British Touring Car Championship just last weekend in the hand of Jake Hill. Massively sideways was Mac Priestwood. Jake did that last week in the final round of the championship when it was all looking fine, and like Jake, Mac Priestwood saved it, but a massive slide now down the Craner curves.
Yeah, and quite a big gap, isn't there now, between Waring and Abraham, about 2 seconds. Abraham it is that is in 4th position within the 116, 6th place overall. Out of McLean's, another spin, I'm afraid, for Julian Howe, number 9 in the RLI Motorsport car.
Interesting, all the front runners are all some youngsters in the 116s, aren't they? So it's a great way for young drivers to get involved in motorsport on a much more sensible budget than perhaps some other categories afford.
It will be interesting to see. I mean, I know Matt Priestwood's got looking at various options for next season, see where he does end up.
Was it GT car he was testing recently?
Yeah, and he was telling me at Croft that there was other options as well. So let's see where he does end up next year. I mean, on merit, you think, yeah, he's got the talent to progress certainly, and so too do 1 or 2 others out there. So it'll be interesting to see if drivers do now start to come through the 116 trophy and sprint trophy as they drive off into the sunset, and progress to higher levels of motor racing, really.
I know at one point James Waring had similar ambitions, didn't he? But I saw he put in a new commentary form, which then the ambitions to be a GT driver had disappeared off of. So I don't know if he realised the budget to go up there was a little bit more than he could afford at this stage. Because now I think he's hoping to come back and do more 116s next year.
And I think that would be a good thing to do to continue to build experience. As we've said, he's only 16, so lots of time still to learn before he moves on to something else. And sometimes it could be good to consolidate, do a second season of something, and maybe succeed in it, take a championship title, which might be more eye-catching than just the odd win here or there, which he has had in the 116s. He's been successful with podium finishes and been very quick. Went well, had lots of pace at Croft last time out. Big moment for him this time as they came through the Craners.
He did that last time though as well, didn't he? So
yes.
Perhaps it's just what you do. But I guess in the dry these are easy, flat down there where maybe not in these conditions. Highcock's trying to get back past Abraham.
And Peter Keen's sort of with them now as well, isn't he? So they've got 3 cars together for basically 4th place within the 116 Sprint Trophy class. Turning their way through McLean's, and that's Abraham. I thought it was going a bit wide there. Actually, it was Keane that went wider. And we've got one into the gravel now, which is the 325 of the Whip Street Motors run car. Callum Davis, the Ipswich driver, but he does, fortunately, manage to climb out of the gravel trap again.
Highcock's going to lose out to Keane, isn't he now? I do wonder, is this him just driving very carefully with that realisation if something goes wrong, it could be costly? Or has he just not got the pace? But of course, this rain did come when they were probably all in the assembly area, didn't it? So the setup might not be right, although there's not a huge amount you can do to change the setup on these cars. But perhaps a small suspension change can make all the difference. But he's fighting back now. Yeah,
having a look at the inside of Keane into Melbourne Hairpin. Looks like he's got ahead at least temporarily. Climbing their way up out of the hairpin.
Out of the sunshine into the gloom.
Yeah, exactly. Rob Carvel's now got the best lap of the race. 2:08.196 as Highcock again up the inside and trying to take the place away from Keane. They're still side by side on the exit of the corner, and they're going to be over the line almost together. I think it's just going to be Keane ahead as they cross the line. By how much? A tenth of a second. Yeah, 7 to Carvel. That's only a second now between the two leaders.
And Waring has re-caught Priestwood. It was never that big of a gap, but he was right on the boot lid of Mac Priestwood there. So there's the Potter car, R.A. Potter car of Rob Carvel, the ex-Volkswagen Racing Cup champion from a couple of decades ago. And he's chasing after 116 team boss, Anthony Seddon. got that car that's had a couple of rotations to lap. This is lap 5. What I guess will be 7.
Yeah, I would think so.
Jack Godden looking good in 3rd, and that's of course the 116 win. Up for grabs. And he'll be the 5th different winner this year, won't he? Oh, something fell off for that car that had some spins. We had 6 wins for Highcock, 2 for Priestwood, 2 for Abraham, 1 for Keane, and Jack Godden should add his name to that list. His best result before this weekend was 10th, I think, Jack Godden. So
yeah,
it shows you how different it's been.
Quite the turnaround for this weekend. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. So here are the two 120 leaders. It's still Seddon ahead of Carvel. So Seddon sort of doing what he needs to do to try and sort of keep the championship hopes alive. But now there's a car off into the gravel at the old hairpin. Who's that? 14? Possibly so.
Could be Harry Hurst Groover.
Yeah, so see, it's not getting out of there, that's for certain. It is the 14 car. So we'll see if any intervention is needed there.
It's another X-Kart car like Waring. That one. So we do another lap. I wonder with that car in the gravel whether we'll do any more after this.
Yeah, we should have 2 more laps, shouldn't we? But we'll see if there's any decisions made. But yes, in terms of the 120s, so it looks like Seddon's on course to take both race wins this weekend. He's not got the fastest lap point this time, has he? So this would be sort of a 25 to 23 type point situation, wouldn't it, between them?
That's right.
So he'd gain 2 points. The marshal's trying hard to move that car, but failing, it would seem. So I think it would still be Seddon's Carvel's championship, wouldn't it?
Safety car lights are on standby, but it would be a bit pointless at this time.
It would, because it would just sort of do 1 lap, leading the fields around to the checkered flag, wouldn't it? So we'll see what does happen at the end of this lap if that car cannot be moved. Safety car lights have gone off again.
Godden is being caught. The gap was 2.4 seconds. Priestwood is with him.
Yeah, so that's a huge amount he's caught on this lap. I wonder if he's got a problem.
Was he just more courteous through the yellow flag zone?
Possibly so. That's a distinct possibility, isn't it? That Godden, respectful young man that he is, slowed down amply through the yellow flag. It's not saying that Matt Priest was not a respectful young man, but he has certainly gained some ground on this lap to Jack Godden, and this might be the final few corners. We're not quite sure. There might be another lap yet to go. Turning their way through the Fogarty S's for the final time. The leaders are pushed on their way out of Melbourne Hairpin, the 120 Coupe Cup car, so perhaps we'll pick them up and see if we do get them down to the line this time. But the first thing, the 116 is right together as they round the Melbourne Hairpin. Up to the line they come. The checker flag has been made ready, and it's Rob Carvel that's got the lead right on the final corner, and he finishes ahead of Anthony Seddon as the checker flag goes out. Decisive move there made by Rob Carvel to win the race and the 120 Coupe Cup Points Championship as well. And it's going to be Jack Godden that makes it 5 winners this season in the 116 Sprint Trophy as he fends off Matt Priestwood. But it's the 71 car from the 173 car, and then 228 James Waring completes the podium. Then another trio of cars further back. This is Will Abraham, Matthew Highcock, the champion, confirmed earlier on today, and Peter Keane. Actually, also at the back of that group was Tom Sibley as well, with Ethan Hall 6 seconds further back. The next car over the line, Josh.
Yeah, so that probably, considering the weather conditions, was somewhat calmer than some of the rest of the day has been for some of the other categories, where we've had that those dramas. Some championships decided, but lots of good racing. Road sports was probably one of the highlights, wasn't it? That conclusion, and some other bits of good racing too. And hopefully the weather will be a little bit more predictable tomorrow, to look forward to some more championship deciders. And I think the biggest ever BMW 116 trophy grid to look forward to tomorrow, with 50 cars, I think, something like that, on the grid, which is going to be spectacular. Once we get the cars through the first few corners, then we can start to enjoy the race, I think. And as you say, most of these guys will be out tomorrow. There'll be obviously more joining in as well, so that could well be one of the highlights. Although tomorrow's actually got less races, hasn't it, than today? It's just because we've got longer races. We've got 2 endurance races tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, one of the 1/6 trophy, one of those. Still cars coming across the line. There's so many of them.
That's right. Yeah, a huge grid that we've had. I think these are the final few cars, making their way over the line at the end of this first stage racing here at Donington Park.
They're still coming.
They are. There is still, I think this is probably the last one to cross the line. Yep, it's been a good day's racing here at Donington Park. We've had championships decided already, including the 1/16's early one today. A win though in this race 10, that was won by number 59 Rob Carvell at the end of 6 laps. He beat number 5 Anthony Sed by 0.212 seconds and wrapped up the 120 Coupe Cup as well. Third place went the way of number 71 Jack Godden. Fourth to 173 Matt Frieswood. Jack Godden of course winning the 1/16 Sprint Trophy. Fifth was 228 James Waring. Sixth was 209 Will Abraham. Seventh treble 5 Matthew Highcock. Eighth 151 Peter Keane. Ninth number 12 Tom Sibley and 10th number 25 Ethan Hall. Ahead of Lewis White and Turner, Luke Fox, Dan Lavery and Pete Brand. Further back, in 15th place, it was number 34, Toby O'Reilly, ahead of David Smith, Ben Dobbs, Thomas Littlechild, Will Tyndall and David Hudson, rounding out the top 20. And the rest of the field you can see on screen there. Snatch vehicle going into action to recover the car that we did lose in that race. And that was Harry Hurstgrove, number 14, shown there as 40th. But the last car to finish on the lead lap was Mark Milne in car 360, and Julian Howe was a lap down. Well, that brings to an end today's racing here at Donington Park. Many, many thanks to all of the marshals who've done such sterling work today to keep us more or less on schedule for today's racing, finishing just about 5 minutes perhaps later than we'd anticipated. So many, many thanks to all the marshals for their help today. Hopefully tomorrow they'll be having completely dry conditions to stay out in. Thanks to all of the other officials of the 750 Motor Club as well, and everyone else who's made this today's racing possible. Been very appreciative of all of you. Don't forget, tomorrow we're underway at 10:40 with Zamp Helmets Formula V Championship. We've also got Sports 1000, MR2s, F1000, the Gasshocks 1/16 Trophy, and the Tiguan Club Enduro Championship. But from Josh Barrett and myself, we wish you a very good night. We'll hand you down to Matt Suckling in the pit lane now for the final time today. From Josh and I, a very good night.
Thank you, Ian. Yep, down here with our race winner overall and I think the champion in the 120 Coupe Cup. So well done, Rob. You've done it all.
Thank you. Yeah, we've finished as we hoped, and no one can not enjoy a last corner victory, can they? So I think I was lucky to get it in the end. But all fair play to Anthony for giving me a good run round, and yeah, really good race. Really enjoyed it.
You were lurking right towards the end, weren't you? You're just waiting to pounce at any given opportunity.
Yeah, I was fortunate in that following's a bit easier, so I could pick off the places where I knew it was on. Yeah. And yeah, we made it stick, so brilliant. Big thanks to Richard Potter and Trevor Hill for preparing the car and for giving us a fantastic season of racing again. And to the 750 Motor Club.
Great season, well done, Rob.
Yeah. And the marshals.
Loads of thanks, well done, Rob. Congratulations. And we'll have a quick chat with Jack Godden, who wins the 1/16 sprint part of that race. Cracking job, well done.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's been a long wait since the last one, and yeah, I don't know, it's been too long.
That's the best way sometimes. Save your best till last and you can kind of go off on a high through the winter.
Yeah, we've had so many problems for so long, and it's just all come right. Finally, it's been a long time. It's a good one, this.
It wasn't easy though, was it? Because Mac was there, I think James was on your tail as well, so a nice three-way battle for the win.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get caught up with Rob at the start. I thought the 120s weren't going to get away, but thankfully they pulled a bit of a gap and it was just managing to map behind. And then I was taking no chances with the double wave yellow on the last lap, which let him get a bit closer, but win's a win.
Yeah. Play it safe. Well done, Jack.
Thank you.
There we go then, our two class winners within the 1/16 sprint and also the 120 Coupe Cup, and that brings a close to day one here at Donington Park for the 750 Motor Club Championship Deciders. A few champions have been crowned today, but again we'll do it all tomorrow for much more of the action. To do, make sure you can join us at 10:30 in the morning. That's when the stream goes live for day two, with plenty more to come and a couple of endurance races to look forward to as well. From Ian Soman, from Josh Barrett, myself, Matt Suckling, and all the team at Alpha Live, we look forward to your company on day two tomorrow.